What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna be doing a series of like art book ASMR videos where I'm just flipping through the pages. Um, I recently acquired a few art books just to gander at. I got them for free because my college was giving away a bunch of like hundreds of free art books about photography and painting. So I grabbed the ones I liked the most, and I figured it would make for a good ASMR video. This first one is called A Year in Art, a masterpiece a day. So it's kind of like one of those cheesy, like, oh, you're supposed to look at it uh, once a day, which I don't feel like most people do, but it still has a nice collection. So here's the book. It's kind of a cool, weird design, definitely meant for a coffee table. It's got Nefertiti on the cover. Yeah. All right, so let's check it out. All right, what's up, y'all? So here we have it. A Year in Art, a Masterpiece a Day by Presta. Never heard of him. Okay. Hmm. So that's a cool border. It really is such a strange shaped book, but that's okay. Art does not reproduce the visible, rather, it makes visible. Paul Klee. What else? A universal gallery for every day, with well known works of art and words of wisdom to inspire and delight you throughout the year. Oh, we'll see about that. I believe the part about the art, but okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I wonder if the mic will pick that up. Let's try. Okay. Oh, it seems to be art from the Stahlich Museum Z Berlin. So it looks like it's from some like a German museum in particular. Not what I initially thought. I thought it was art throughout the eras, but that's okay. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. That's Aristotle. So this is Vermeer, if it looked familiar. Um, Whether I get through every single day of this, maybe I'll do a part two, because I might get carried away talking about some pieces. But Vermeer, like you could tell with him, with the lighting, the thing about the windows, he does a lot. Um, it's especially here, and kind of the way he does faces as well, the pearls. Vermeer did the girl with the pearl earring, I believe is the name. And that's also regarded as one of the, like, next to the Mona Lisa when it comes to like capturing the female form and appearance. So he's highly regarded. This one is Franz Mark. Today we are searching for things in nature that are hidden behind the veil of appearance. We look for and paint this inner spiritual side of nature. Word. There's definitely some horses. This is also like Chagall a little bit. It's sort of 1913. So this is the Europa myth. Zeus in the form of a bull abducting Europa. That's funny. It is an old prerogative of kings to govern everything except their passions. That sounds like Zeus. Through music, the passions enjoy themselves. This is Velasquez. Right? Yeah. Velasquez is wild. The perspective and everything. He definitely has a certain... I remember him. The way the piano, or not piano, the guitar is. He has a way, he does faces in a certain way as well. If indeed you must be candid beautifully. Okay. Khalil Gibran. Who is this? Never heard of him. Henry de Toulouse. Lautrec. This is another Dutch painting. You'll know because of the van in their name, Hugo van der Goes, I believe, or has some sort of Dutch influence, because it definitely it looks like Van Eyck a little bit, how he would do the drapery and the sort of faces. This is cool, these details here, and that sort of white gray floor, like it's stone. Little cities back there. This is Adoration of the Magi. They're ice skating. This is cool. I always think clouds like this are done a little strange. They're realistic, but they're so like dusty. I don't know how to explain it. It still looks good. It's just some artists, some painters seem to do it that way, and others will do. I'll have to see if I find another example. Through wintertime we call on spring, and through the spring on summer call, and when abounding hedges ring, declare the winter's best of all. William Butler Yeats. Late summer, I kind of feel that way too. Oh, that's a good one. That's from Rembrandt too. Painting is the grandchild of nature. This is a Rembrandt. The snail? Oh, yeah. I thought it was a carpet. That's funny. Curious fella. And Rembrandt is like he's cross hatching, but it's not exact, and it's textural, and I'll remember that. Oh, William Blake, here we go. Love seeketh not itself to please, nor for itself hath any care, but for another gives its ease, and builds a heaven in hell's despair. Dang, William Blake is always spitting. Caressing couple. Miniature. Dang. Put that. Dang, guys. That's crazy. Scandalous. This is funny too. Actually, you know what? I'm enjoying the quotes. I thought I said I would. I didn't believe it, but this is funny. Middle age is the time when a man is always thinking that in a week or two he will feel as good as ever. Portrait of an Elderly Man by Luca Signorelli. I wonder if that's supposed to be Florence in the background. I don't think so. A forest bird never wants a cage. Henrik Ibsen. Decoration in the form of a bird, painted wood carving in Malaysia. That is crazy, actually. Marcel Proust. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. Theodore de Bry. Definitely a doxy. It's from the 1500s. It does carry a certain, like you're looking down into it. Seems like the perspectives are a little funky, but that was sort of the style in some time periods. Like it's funky and then it's not. Definitely like has a manuscript feeling to it. Ooh. Not to hope for things to last forever is what the year teaches, and even the hour which snatches a nice day away. Horace. That's powerful. Still life with rummer and silver bowl. Peter Klaus. Anywho, I'm very intrigued. Like, and one day I'll get this mastered. Is making metal look metal, and it's not as hard as it seems. But the way some of these old masters did it was just so crazy to me. Like the gold speckles in there too, or whatever that is. You know what else too is sometimes these paintings are much bigger in person, and so you're looking at it as a small miniaturized version of this large painting, and at a large scale things like this do become a little bit more feasible, and painting larger has its perks. Oh. No great artist ever sees things as they really are. If he did, he would cease to be an artist. True. Oscar Wilde. This is called Just Brushstrokes, 1996. Sol Lee Witt. Things like this, if you unfocus your eyes a little more, if you can unfocus your eyes and look at it, kind of captures a feeling. Not my cup of tea. The problem for me, if I did stuff like this, is I would have too many paintings. I'd have a whole every day. That doesn't change the merit or value. Maybe I'll actually give it a try. It might be fun. This is definitely fun for the painter, and that's sometimes forgotten. My delight and thy delight, walking like two angels white in the gardens of the night. Nice freestyle, bro. A leaf depicting a king and a queen, so-called walk in the garden, Egypt. That poem is by Robert Bridges. See, like, Egyptian art and hieroglyphics always was two-dimensional, kind of side-looking, for whichever reason. But it makes it interesting because as a young kid, you usually are looking at whether it's the History Channel or class, and you see the side profile. To me, I think side profiles are very easy to draw. Maybe that's a reason why. It just seems so natural. That's probably, I don't know, it's probably completely objective. Or subjective, I mean. It is not bright colors, but good drawing that makes figures beautiful. Titian. So this is like, that's a powerful quote. And Titian is he's a good old boy. Like, he's one of the masters before some of the others showed up. And Titian's technique, I like quite a bit. I forget, like, you could see some of the orange hue in the background, his first layer. It's almost like all the others, Caravaggio, all those guys kind of plucked at how he was doing things. I'm pretty sure that's the order of things. I think Titian came first, but I was trying to keep this in mind because I like to do a lot of bright colors and things, and I remember it's important to go back and never lose your love for drawing as you deviate on your artistic path. Titian. So I'll have to look at more of his stuff. It's funny because Michelangelo said something similar to this. But he had his own way. He painted like he was sculpting, and yeah. Venice once was dear, the pleasant place of all festivity, the revel of the earth, the masque of Italy, Lord Byron. The Molo in front of the Doge's palace. Oh, Doge. Canaletto. Pretty cool. Yeah. Architectural painting is a curious thing as well. Because it's like once you have the base down, the shape and perspective correct, and so much detail after that and straight lines, it's satisfying in its own way, but it's like the contrast. It's fun to do once in a while, architecture. I don't say everything, but I paint everything. That's Pablo Picasso. Picasso is just enigmatic to me. It's one of those where I share the same birthday. So I've always had like a fixation on him as a character. And the curious thing about how he was good. He was good when he was like 17. He could paint like the Renaissance painters. He just probably got tired of like the academic style at the time and just said, I'll paint whatever I want. So it's a curious case of like the quote, he spent his whole life trying to relearn how to draw or paint like a child. And it's because his father was probably going, who was also an artist, teaching him all the hardcore academic stuff as a child. He didn't have a chance to be a bad artist and to not take that for granted. So he's a curious case, I think. Some people have some, mixed reviews. The more elevated a culture, the richer its language. The number of worlds their combination depends directly on a sum of conceptions and ideas. Without the latter, there can be no understandings, no definitions, and as a result, no reason to enrich a language. Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. Cuneiform writing board. Okay. The original iPad over here. He that does good for good's sake seeks neither paradise nor reward, but he is sure of both in the M. That's William Penn. Oh, this is cool. This might be my favorite so far, or one of them. It's called The Lost Night, 1816, Carl Philipp IV. This just has a cool feels ahead of its time a little bit when in regards to like fantasy and landscapes and things like that. It seems like he's capturing a vibe. Ooh. Okay, we got John Milton over here, so. This is the month, and this is the happy morn, wherein the Son of Heaven, eternal King, of wedded maid and virgin mother born, our great redemption from above did bring. John Milton. So this is Madonna and Child by Giovanni Sima, I think. I thought, like, I love this style and the exactness. You see the pillars and the different lighting. It's kind of crazy. And here too, the marble effect. That's crazy. There's always a funny thing about this time period in art, though, is sometimes there's a clayness to some of it. And I think he takes after more of a Michelangelo, like the color and the drapery. So yeah, especially the drapery. That's so interesting. Who we got? This is a nice one though. Sort of simple in the form and the nose, and I really enjoy art like this for whatever reason. The in between where it's like captures some realism and then it's, I don't know how to put it. This is The Artist's Wife, 1912 by August Mack. Probably Mack. He who paints must be able to see an object in its uniform tone and its whole magic. All paintings created this way are the mirror of the soul in harmony. He who paints must be able to see an object in its uniform tone and its whole magic. That caught my attention. He quote the artist is the one who said that. Hath not the morning dawned with added light? And shall not evening call another star out of the infinite regions of the night to mark this day in heaven? Henry Timrod. This is curious. I like this style a lot too. It's him shooting a bow at a rooster, and the name is the cock crow, so I wonder if that's how he shut his alarm off. Kind of messed up, but she looks like she's still sleeping. Here we have a mushroom on a table and some snacks. Just so quaint and interesting. Insects are born from the sun. They are the sun's kisses. I don't know about that, but I get the sentiment. This is a Egyptian dung beetle. Still curious. This wing design is such a classic, eternal thing, I think. I love it. This depicts a baptism. Some of these Dutch painters just go so hard. Like, perspective itself isn't too difficult to do. Like, that one follows perfectly. But the details along with it, and I believe a lot of these are done with like a hyper detailed undersketch. And so that way it seems like it's so ridiculous, but really you're just drawing an intricate thing onto the canvas. And once it's measured out and the lines and everything are good, with whatever fixative, if they had to have something like that to keep the sketch from completely fading. Then after that it's like filling in the blanks, which has its own technique, but compositionally, the crazy part to me is just like how much is going on. It's a lot. Ooh, Elizabeth I of England. Fear not, we are of the nature of the lion, and cannot descend to the destruction of mice and such small beasts. That's The Lion's Head by Franz Kruger. Poetry lifts the veil from the hidden beauty of the world and makes familiar objects as if they were not familiar. Oh, here's Chagall. He's a curious guy because it's definitely got a style, and you can see like glimmers on the oil paint. It does just seem kind of rough and chaotic, some of his stuff, but Chagall's cool. I am out to introduce a psychic shock into my paintings, one that is always motivated by pictorial reasoning, that is to say, a fourth dimension. And perhaps that's it, like there's an energy or something. Rest on the Flight into Egypt. This one I want to study some more. That's so interesting. These structures, right? I've seen them before in other like medieval Renaissance paintings, like you don't see that, like these towns built into these dome things anymore. Like, what is that? Like the Tower of Babel paintings. Wonder what this is based off of. That's such a trip. There's baby Jesus just chilling. This is a nice one. This is a cool landscape. Perspective's a little like weird too. Like it's always like you're looking up and down, but with the bay. Curious. This is Shakespeare. I feel within me a peace above all earthly dignities, a still and quiet conscience. Each touch taken pure from the palette remains pure upon the canvas. This is I like this too, for its own reasons. This is Still Life by Paul Signac. He who teaches children learns more than they do. That's a Hebrew proverb. That's a good one. This is After School. This is a beautiful piece too. Not easy. Different every single face with expression. This is the kind of stuff where it has a power to it. Michael de Montage. I think that's it. Monte, yeah. Valor is stability, not of legs and arms, but of courage of the soul. Saint Michael as conqueror of Satan. I always like the Saint Michael iconography. Ooh. Picasso. In the context, like, imagine he's saying this to AI, an AI artist, but because you gotta think photography was a new art back then, and painters were like, what are we gonna do? But he says, who sees the human face correctly, the photographer, the mirror, or the painter? That's Pablo Picasso. It's a little bit of his cockiness in that, but the meaning is pretty self-evident what he's pointing to. I like that. That's cool. A pillar and then it just splits. We got Schopenhauer over here. So that's reading is merely a surrogate for letting Reading is merely a surrogate for thinking for yourself. It means letting someone else direct your thoughts. Arthur Schopenhauer. He's alright. He's a sad boy though. Sometimes it's like, at what point is it excessive? Does it match the philosophy? Or is it, if that's the case, then sure, but sometimes you have to wonder where the philosopher or poet's personality is influencing the way they think and whether it's the truth. In my opinion, not to get too deep. Nature is thoroughly mediate. It is made to serve. It receives the dominion of man as meekly as the ass on which the Savior rode. Oh man. Emerson is spin. Okay. Nature is thoroughly mediate. It is made to serve. It receives the dominion of man as meekly as the ass on which the Savior rode. It offers all its kingdoms to man as the raw material, which he may mold into what is useful. Man is never weary of working it up. Damn. I'll remember that too. That's Ralph Waldo Emerson. Riders of the Tiger to Guernsey? Anywho. Oh, this is nice. I've never seen this. Not your typical color palette or scheme in general, and let alone for Japanese art. Huh. This is The Sound of Water by Kobaragi Kiyokata, I believe. And I dreamed as I wandered by the way. Bare winter suddenly was changed to spring, and gentle odors led my step astray, mixed with a sound of murmuring along a shelving bank of turf, which lay under a copse and hardly dared to fling its green arms round the bosom of the stream, but kissed it and then fled, as thou mightst in dream. Definitely paints a picture. 3 power figures. Oh. These are interesting. Back home, when I lived in Big Bear, California, I had a friend from Senegal, and I got these masks from him that are like African carved wooden masks, and what he told me represented the 3 stages of a man's life, where the first was smaller and had its eyes shut, and the middle was like more potent and had like this thing around its head, like a creature, like the ego or something, like the mind. And the last one is like fully formed, and they're all carved out of wood. And one way to think of it is like the Pokemon evolutions. So the last one was like, it's epic, has like this mane, like a Charizard or something. I don't know if that's a bad example to use, but they're powerful, and I'd hang them up because I like masks, but they're home now because I don't want to ship them to New Jersey. Here it says, there is all Africa and her prodigies in us. We are that bold and adventurous piece of nature. Sir Thomas Browne. Well, here, I think I'm going to end it. Speaking of traveling and different countries, this one here says travel broadens the mind. And this is Englishman in Campania, whatever that is. Looks like Arizona or a desert of some sort. This is definitely true. Anyway, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is definitely just part 1, a little bit daunting, in a good way. I hope the sounds and maybe my voice helped calm you down, relax you, helped you go to sleep, whatever it may be. And I'm going to save this page so I know where I'm at. Oh, my business card's so cool. Anywho, yeah, so I hope this video brought you some peace of mind or relaxation, hopefully some tingles or some information about art history. Whatever it is, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one. Please like and subscribe, and thank you so much.